In class, we've discussed this concept of a linkage institution as this chapter 1. Now, the media serves as a linkage institution as well. And one of the more effective ways that everybody seems to be very entertained by is online polls or traditional polls. Now, there are universities around the country and private media organizations around the country that conduct polls on almost anything that you can imagine. It's not surprising that a lot of people are polling on one simple question. If the election was held today, who would win? I mean, ultimately, with regards to all the issues, the most entertaining part of this election is going to be who is going to win. These polls always get the attention of the candidates as well. So media can have an interesting effect on the election as well. If we take a look at this collection of polls generated by Real Clear Politics in a general election of Trump versus Clinton, what we can see here, the blue line featuring Hillary Clinton, the red line featuring Donald Trump, are a wide variety of times that they've either been a real wide gap between the candidates or times when they have been neck and neck. These polls will actually influence the outcome of the elections, especially to somebody who's not terribly interested in politics, who may only look at the person who they believe will win based on the polls. So if somebody who has a very passive interest in the election looks at a poll like this and goes, oh, well, Hillary Clinton's been leading Donald Trump, I guess everybody else who's been paying attention must have the right idea that she would be better than Donald Trump. So the polling itself and media's relying on it can very much actually influence somebody who's voting per se. On the other side of it too is that all of these polls have enormous errors in them that they try to account for based on a margin of error. But if we look back here in early April, we can see Hillary Clinton with a very, very wide lead. So if asked back then, we would hear that, oh, Hillary is definitely going to beat Donald Trump, he's got no chance of winning. But if we look here, right after the Republican convention, Donald Trump is winning. As we get closer and closer, the most recent poll suggested a neck-and-neck tie. We're going to see other critical events that actually are going to change this. The outcome of the first set of debates that are going to come up at the end of September will obviously have an effect on this. So the AP exam actually brought this up in an essay one year where they referred to the term as scorekeeping, that the idea that journalism can actually influence the outcome of an election based on an over-reliance on polls, which aren't terribly accurate. In addition to that, as a linkage institution, media is now 24/7 with 4 different competing 24/7 news networks. And the constant barrage of media attention to any given issue can actually make it more or less important to the nation. Media coverage can create an agenda, what the AP sometimes refers to as gatekeeping, was more traditionally referred to as agenda setting, that the media itself can decide what's important and what's not, and can frame the national debate.